Welcome back to the Munro Review. If it's the beginning of March and you're seeing performers walking around the Tower District passing out flyers, it means one thing. It's time for the Rogue Festival. We welcome two familiar names, one local, one out of town, to talk about this Fresno institution. Here is Heather Parish and Les Kurkendaal.
Hi.
Thanks for being here.
Thanks for having us.
This is like Rogue busy time, so I know it's crazy for both of you. So this is year number 18 for the Rogue. It is it's an adult.
It's now fully grown up.
Exactly.
Can sign contracts and everything.
So you are Heather, you have been the executive director in the past, and you are now in a transition year. Can you tell us about that?
Yes. The Rogue Festival is one of those unique grassroots organizations where usually a local person who has some experience, either with the Rogue itself or producing other events, will step into the leadership role for a certain amount of time to kind of bring them to new blood, freshen things up a little bit, tighten things down a little bit. And then they move on their way. Most of the time they move back to becoming artists because very often they come from an artistic background. Mm-hmm. So I did my 2 years, and we're currently transitioning into Amber Street's first year, and she's a longtime venues producer with the festival.
Okay. And Les, how many years have you been coming to the Rogue?
God, I think like six.
Six. Okay, so you're based in LA,
yeah.
And you kind of lead the life that a lot of people fantasize about, right? You kind of travel around the country. How often are you on the road? What is your schedule like?
This year, I normally do festivals. Actually, this year the festivals are actually starting earlier. They normally start in June. My first festival this year is in April, and I'm going through the summer. And I recently picked up a monthly show in Minneapolis. So I'm going to be on the road pretty much all year this year.
Oh, wow. Well, before we talk about your show, let's just give a little bit of basic info for people who might not have gone to the Rogue before. How does it work, Heather? What if I've never been there? How do I do it?
If you've never been there and you just want to see shows, I don't need to give you all the ins and outs about how we deal with money and all of that sort of thing. But basically, all the shows are an hour or less, but they're about an hour long, and they run in rapid rotation. So we've got shows happening in about 8 to 11 different venues. So in the Tower District itself, we've got a Rogue in the back, Rogue shows in the back room of the Review. We've got things at Fulton Street Art. We've got things at Vini Vidi Vici. We've got things at Vista. We have things in multiple places, and they run the show for an hour, and then there's a half-hour break, and then a new show will run for an hour, and then there's a half-hour break, and that keeps going, and that's usually Friday nights, and then all day Saturday and all day Sunday, and then the second weekend it's Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. So you can show up in the Tower District, choose a show, and then go in and see it. You can get set up at your first show. So I always tell people if they're brand new and they don't know anything about it, first thing you want to do is you want to go to our website, which is FresnoRogueFestival.com, and on a big link on the front page will be the program in PDF. And so you should open that up on your computer, you should skim through, find a show you think might become somewhat interested in. Then just show up about 30 minutes before that show time at the venue, because the venue is listed in the program, the times are listed in the program, how much it's going to cost to list the program, and you go to the table at the front, and you're going to pay for your ticket right there, cash or credit, either one's fine. And you're also going to buy a Rogue wristband, which is sort of your entrance to the Rogue Festival as a whole. You buy that once, keep it on your person, and then you see your show, you go in, you have a great time, and then you decide that, all right, I'm going to take a little break. I kind of know what the shows are like now. I've seen one. I'm going to go have a cocktail somewhere because I love the cocktail style.
We actually had a pool to see how long it would take you to mention the word cocktail. Yeah.
I hope somebody won something.
It was at the 3-minute 30 mark. Yeah.
Okay. But anyway, stop and have a cocktail, get something to drink, go have a coffee if that's your thing. Look through the program again, find your next show. And then you just go to the next show. You pay for your ticket right there. You've already got your wristband, and you can just keep going for the next however many shows you want to see.
And we should say that the wristband is only $3, right?
It's $5.
Oh, is it $5?
Yeah, it's $5.
Okay, sorry about that.
We've been doing the wristbands for about 4 years now, so we had to raise the price.
Okay.
But basically, that's sort of like if you were going to a music festival, you would pay for the ticket to get into the music festival, and then you would see the individual shows in the music festival. That $5 is your ticket to the Rogue Festival, and then you see the individual shows.
Okay. So, Les, how many shows are you performing this time? How many?
For the year?
No.
Oh.
For the Rogue.
I'm doing
how
5
many
shows.
performances?
Five
You do
performances.
5. Okay. So tell us about that. Tell us what your show's about.
Okay, so my show is called Adventures While Black in Great Britain. And the show is about, I recently got married, and my husband is Caucasian, and he's from the English countryside. Not London, but like farmland. And so I went to England and I met his family, and we toured around the different farms and different small towns. And so it's a fish out of water story about how I meet these people and the adventures that happen.
We're actually going to have an excerpt of that in just a couple minutes. I wanted to show everyone the Rogue program this year. This is a real person, right?
Yes.
Tell us. So this is Marcel Nunes.
This is Marcel
Nunes.
Nunes.
Why is Marcel on the cover?
Well, every single year the muse gets chosen in some form or another by the executive director. And this year the two producers, Amber Street and Vince Warner, decided that they wanted to honor Marcel as the founder of the festival. Since it has reached 18 years, and that's pretty unusual for a Fringe festival, so they had Marcel sit for a portrait and be the face of the festival this year.
Well, that's fantastic. So, Les, this kind of puts you on the spot, but is the Rogue one of your favorite Fringe festivals to attend?
Actually, it is my favorite to attend.
Okay.
And I didn't pay him to say that.
Great people, great community
people.
spirit.
When you come here, you know you're going to have a good time, and audiences are very enthusiastic, and they're open to new things, and it's fun. It's fun.
Well, fantastic. Well, we're going to be hearing from you in just a minute. Welcome back to the Munro Review. Here's Les Kurkendaal, who will be sharing with us from his Rogue show, Adventures While Black in Great Britain.
So Auntie Enid breezes in, and she's kind of a cross between the Dowager Countess from Downton Abbey and Joan Collins. So she looks at me and she says to my husband, John, "Oh, look what you brought back from America. I guess America's been good to you." And she looks at me and asks, "So, Les, what do you do for a living?" "An actor." "Oh, an actor. Well, being American, I guess you're glad that Donald Trump is in office now, aren't you? And what did Barack Obama ever do anyway?" Now, there was a TV show that I liked from the 80s called Designing Women, and there was a character named Julia Sugarbaker who would freak out and go on political diatribes. I didn't know what happened. I became obsessed, and I became Julia Sugarbaker. Wait a minute. What did Barack Obama ever do? Well, first of all, when Barack Obama got into office, the country was on the brink of a depression. So there's that. Oh, and before this trip, I had a physical because I can now afford health care because of Barack Obama. So there's that. Oh, and by the way, your nephew and I got married last month. You know why we got married? Because of Barack Obama. Oh, and yes, your nephew is going for his green card. Yes, his green card, which means he is an immigrant. And why is he going for his green card? Because we could legally be married because of Barack Obama. I finished my diatribe, and I was scared because I thought, oh my God, Les, you really messed up by yelling at his aunt. But the aunt looked at me, and she smiled, and she said, "I like you. You must come over for tea tomorrow." So I guess I dodged a bullet.
Well, Thank you so much, Les. That wraps it up for this month's episode of the Munro Review. Be sure to keep up online at munroreview.com for previews, reviews, giveaways, profiles, and more. A big thank you to our volunteer crew, and a thank you to all our guests, Randy Colruyt, Taylor Delgado, Heather Parish, and Les Kurkendaal. And for all of you, please keep exploring and supporting the local arts scene. We'll see you next time.